Is writer's block a monster that's going to destroy your creativity for an undefined amount of time? Yes. Yes, it absolutely is. Is there something we can do about it? Another yes, 100%. Let's discuss. Hey guys, it's Avi from JustWriteMusic.com. Today we're going to talk about writer's block. We're going to talk about 5 ways that we can prevent it, or today we're going to talk about writer's block, and we're going to discuss 5 ways that we can either get out of it or prevent it entirely. This way we can get to what's really important, making great music and making a great life. That was super lame, wasn't it? Ugh. So writer's block sucks. We all know it. It's a really crappy feeling when you're just trying to make your art and you have some ideas maybe floating around, but nothing's coming out, or it's just not coming out right. It's pretty well named actually, because it really does feel like something is just blocking us from getting our music out. This framing device is actually really useful because we can use it to subvert writer's block a little bit and to get out of it and prevent it. What do we do with a physical block? We either go around it or we unblock it. So this leads me to the first way I want to share with you today on how to prevent or get out of writer's block, and that is to write some bad music. Oftentimes, writer's block can result from pressure. For me, and I'm guessing for a lot of you as well, this pressure is often self-induced because we are just trying to write something great. We're trying to write our masterpiece. Screw that. There's a fantastic phrase that my teacher once shared with me, and that is, "The perfect is the enemy of the good." I'm gonna say that one more time. The perfect is the enemy of the good. When you're so obsessed with your work being great when you're so obsessed with making everything in your music perfect or trying to make it this stroke of genius or masterpiece, you're actually inhibiting your ability to create. This is often where I think a lot of this self-induced pressure comes from. So go write something bad. By intentionally disregarding the expectations that we have of the writing session or of the piece itself, we're able to let go and let the music just be what it wants to be. The moment you decide that you no longer care about the outcome, all that pressure just melts away, and look at that, you just unclogged your writer's block. That sounded kind of gross. Ooh. Now let's say you're trying to just disregard any expectations and just write something bad, but it's just not working, nothing's coming out. Well, this brings me to the second way that we can get out of writer's block or to prevent it, and that is to just walk away. Sometimes it's just a bad day and this is not gonna happen. That's fine. It happens, we're not machines. If it's not happening, it's just not happening. And accepting that will actually help to de-stress you, especially when paired with number 3. Listen to yourself, go take some space. Go see a friend at a distance, watch some TV, do whatever. Just get out of your writing space and come back when you feel refreshed. By walking away, you're also respecting yourself, respecting your creative process and your art by not just simply trying to force something. This option is really up to you to feel out, and up to you to make the decision whether you want to push through in the writing session or take some space. And it makes it a whole lot easier to decide to take some space when you decide to keep a writing schedule. This is number 3. This is what I was talking about. A writing schedule means you're writing all the time, usually more than you were before you kept a writing schedule. This puts less pressure on each writing session, which is great because that's less fuel for writer's block to impede your creativity. It's also easier to be inspired when you're keeping a schedule. Inspiration is a flow state, not some type of magical external mythical force that only appears when it wants to. I actually made a whole video about it, so check there or there for a link if you're interested. Now, because this usually means we're writing more often, that means that we're making progress faster. And because we're making progress faster, that allows us to have greater insight into our process as a creative and as we create and write music. This lets us know when it's time to shift gears and take a new approach. Essentially, we know ourselves better as an artist. We know our process better. It allows us to make more informed decisions because our process isn't a mystery anymore. You don't feel bad about taking that day, about saying, this writing, it's just not happening today, I'm gonna walk away. You don't feel bad because, well, hey, you got another writing session coming up because it's right there in your calendar. Now, say we're in the middle of our writing session and things just still aren't going our way, we can pause, take a break from the session, and go do an adjacent activity. Now, what does this mean? This means like, go practice your instrument, like actually practice with a metronome, do some scales, some technique work, learn a new technique, learn a new song. This will get you back into the writing room and back in that headspace with some of that creativity flowing faster than you think. Another great adjacent activity to do is to listen to music. Make sure that you're listening either to new music that you've never heard, or listen to music that you know makes you feel nostalgic, the kind of thing that got you into writing music in the first place, right? Get back to that origin point, relive your roots, and get back on the bandwagon. If you're like me, all this stuff is interconnected. That means by doing some of these adjacent activities, you're realigning your musical self, giving yourself some perspective, and obtaining a little bit of focus as well. Now, my last piece of advice, my last way to prevent or get out of writer's block is to take a break. Or better yet, take breaks in your writing sessions. Now, this one may seem overly simple, but it's actually a common problem. It's easy not to take breaks during a writing session because we're afraid of losing momentum, of losing our inspiration. That's a powerful motivator, but it's also a double-edged sword. Similar to audio engineering, our ears and our inner ears get tired. By giving them a break periodically, we're actually putting ourselves in a position to make better decisions because our ears aren't fatigued. Now, it's not exactly like audio engineering, but fatigue can set in. Audio engineers like to say to take a break every 90 minutes, usually 30 minutes every 90 minutes. I would say, do it a little bit less than that. Do like 15 minutes every 90 minutes, something like that. Now, that's all for this video. Do you suffer from writer's block often? I know I sure did, like a ton. But after using all of these techniques, actually, I can confidently say that I haven't actually had much of a problem since. I'd love to know what your experience is with writer's block. Let me know down in a comment section below whether you have a tip for getting around it or you just want to vent about it because, I got you. If you're looking for some great tools to help you refine, tweak, and make your melodies memorable and bring them up to your standard, check out my free guide, 7 Ways to Write a More Effective Melody. It can work on any melody in any genre. Head down to justwritemusic.com. There is also a link down in the description. Remember to like this video and subscribe. And if you're super into it, hit the bell to be notified when a new video is coming out. I'm Avi from justwritemusic.com. I'll see you guys next time.